All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin.
All right, welcome back to the other side of the coin, ladies and gentlemen. How you all doing? Hope you guys are all doing well wherever you guys are. We're here for another live stream. Glad we got the 3 points, which is fantastic. And we played some really good football in the first half. But yeah, the whole situation has been rocked by yet another injury and yet another injury for Reece James. A couple of weeks ago, was it last week? No, it wasn't even a couple of weeks. I think it was last week where Wesley Fofana got injured again. Now Reece James getting injured once again. And prior to that, we all know what happened to Armando Broja as well. So lots to talk about, ladies and gentlemen. We'll definitely talk about the Reece James situation and also Enzo Fernandez. Is there something actually happening here? I mean, I don't know. Like sometimes I wonder what is actually going through Todd Bowley's mind. You know, he's after players like João Felix, he's after players like Rafa Leao, he's after players like Jude Bellingham, now Enzo Fernandez. I mean, it's all the players that I like, and it's all the players I think we can all appreciate and would love to have at Chelsea Football Club. But like, surely there is no way you're gonna get all of these superstars like every other day. You know, we are strongly linked with one of these superstars, and it's not even like rumors, it's proper like inquiring and meeting up with their agents, this, that, the other. Like it's crazy stuff what Todd Bowley, I have to get, you know, must give it to him that this guy is fearless. Like it's either he's fearless or he's plain naive. So I don't know, one or the other. But this Enzo Fernandez situation, I just thought that there is no way this is going to happen in January. I mean, 120 million release clause that we're going to have to trigger. That's the only way you're going to get someone like Enzo Fernandez happening this January. And I guess, yeah, the matter is probably out of Benfica's hand. But I don't know. I just had this feeling that Enzo probably might just see this through, at least this season with Benfica. He's been such a key component to Benfica's rise this season, especially in the Champions League. As I keep saying, you know, they're a proper dark horse for me in the Champions League. So interesting times. We're going to definitely talk about that. We're going to start off with Reece James' situation. But before we do that, nearly 80 of you guys are live after 3 minutes. Smash the like button. Let's get those likes up to 80. Let's get to 100 as soon as we can. And then anything after that is fantastic. Hopefully we're going to have another stupendous live stream with you guys. Good to see so many of you guys are here. Shout out to Ryan, Liam, Roby, Vinny, G-Man, Tonmoy, Francis, Howard, RN. So many, man. Digital Film Reviews, good to see you. Do you think James' injury has anything to do with the new physios? Same thing happened with Fofana, injured straight after coming in. I don't know, man. Like, I feel like it's too easy to sit here and just blame the medical team. I mean, why would they clear a player fit to play? In essence, if they're not, like, it doesn't make sense. And also the player themselves, like, do they know their body as well? Do they have any recommendation? Do they feel 100%? It's got to be a two-way street. Like, when you go to the doctors and, you know, they ask you what's your problem, it's a two-way street. You need to explain to them how you feel. How does your body feel? You know, you need to explain to them if there's any sort of pain in your leg, or, you know, when you're doing training, are you feeling anything? Like, is there a two-way communication? Is Reece communicating as well? Is he saying that I feel completely fine? Do you know what I mean? Like, Our physios doing scans and then rechecking, and then after all of that, then giving the clearance. I can't imagine how our medical staff will notice something not correct and even then give the green light to play. Like, I don't understand how that happens. Do you know what I mean? Like, but having said that, something needs to be done. Something definitely needs to be done now. Do you know what I mean? Like, Reece James, before we get into the talks of finding a replacement, this, that, the other, I think proper investigation needs to be done on Reece James's body. How do we ensure to keep this player in the field as long as we can? How can we manage to give him longevity? That's where I think the research needs to be done now. People need to look back at all the different injuries that he's had in the last 3 seasons and really figure out what is going on. How is he picking up these injuries? Is it because of the position he plays as a fullback? I mean, is there a conversation to be had, ladies and gentlemen? More than 115 of you guys are live right now, 120. Is there a conversation to be had right now? Can he perhaps be a long-term fullback? Or is he someone who needs to be transitioned into, I don't know, a defensive midfielder? That's what I'm thinking. Can he actually endure, like, can his body actually endure being a fullback for years and years and years to come? I want to see what you guys have to say about this. Shuba, good to see you, my man. Knee injuries are always sticky. They don't level you easily. Yeah, absolutely. Remember, the medical team is at 3T part that was hired. Are they 100% Chelsea? It's just, I don't know, man. I don't know. How can I just sit here and go, oh, it's the medical team that's getting it all wrong? I wanted Reece James to start yesterday. A lot of you guys wanted him to start. Was he ready to start? I don't know. But even if he wasn't ready, he couldn't. The plan was that he was never going to complete the 90 minutes. The plan was that he was going to play 60 minutes. Because he played 60 minutes literally the game before that, the in-house closed door game. He couldn't even manage 60 minutes. So what should have he got? Like, I feel like if Reece James didn't start from the get-go, we wouldn't look as good as we did in that first half. Imagine Azpilicueta, the way the game changed its shape as soon as he came on. And this, once again, like, this isn't a go at Azpilicueta. This is just simply stating the limitation and the drop-off in quality. I don't think we play as good as we did when Reece James was on, had Azpilicueta started from the get-go. So it's an issue. It's a proper issue, man. Reece eyebrows are too heavy for his knees. I think Reece can be transitioned into a position where he has to run less CB or CDM. And this is why Thomas Tuchel alluded to the fact that he was thinking about having Reece James as an RCB in the long run. And some of you guys didn't like that. It makes sense. He knew that this guy's workload wasn't going to support his body. Well, his body wasn't going to support the workload. And now look, it's a serious issue. It's a serious issue because he's missing out on a lot of matches season in, season out. Constantine, thank you so much for the super chat, my man. Means all these youngsters we are signing are all in midfield attack. Why can't we identify a young right back gem the same way? Strange this issue is ignored. Do you know what? It is crazy how we've known Reece James's injury issues for a very long time. We've known that. But the fact that we haven't rectified it is quite mad. You're right, it is quite mad. This window, this January window, it cannot be ignored anymore. And I'm worried because how quickly can we get someone in? We've got matches thick and fast. I think 2nd Jan, 6th Jan. It's gonna come so quick. Can we get a player in immediately? I don't know. But we have to get someone. I'm pretty certain we will get someone in January to cover for Reece James. But how many matches do we have to do without Reece James and the new player supposedly coming through? Even if it's like 3, 4, 5 games, that's detrimental, man. That is detrimental to our cause. We've got a good victory against Bournemouth. We want to carry that momentum on because competition is intense. Man United is looking good. Martial, Rashford, Eriksen, Fernandez, all of these players are buzzing. Newcastle are looking good. Miguel Almiron, he's on a different planet lately. And then you have Arsenal, Man City setting the pace. Don't forget Spurs always seem to have that grit. It's not easy one bit. I hope our owners are looking at this situation and they're on the phone right now. I know there's a lot of talk about Enzo Fernandez. There's a lot of talk about XYZ, as Constantine is saying, attackers, midfielders, which is good. We need it. We need it. But we definitely need a right back situation happening ASAP. I feel Reece James might end up like Kante, where Kante, we are overplaying him. Overplaying him. The brother barely plays Chitonga. Overplaying him? He barely plays. Tell me when we overplayed him. And in a position that is so demanding, we need to manage his game moving forward. If anything, Chitonga, I don't think Reece James over the last 3 seasons has played enough. How many matches has Reece James missed last season? How many matches did he miss the season before? And also the first season. The problem isn't we're overplaying him. The problem is we don't know how his body operates. We haven't figured his body out. And it's time now we sit down. Just the way we are taking our time on N'Golo Kante. Like this time we're not rushing N'Golo Kante back. This time they are doing proper analysis and figuring out what the hell is wrong with N'Golo Kante. I think now we need to probably sit down and figure out, because for me, there are a few people out there that are saying, we need to really think about what's the future of Reece James. I'm not for a second even contemplating parting ways. First of all, he signed a long-term contract and a very exclusive one as well, highly paid. Well-deserved, world-class player. No way am I parting ways with Reece James. This isn't the same thing. Few people have commented recently in my video saying, Miz, where's the same energy? Where's the same energy that you had for Wesley Fofana? How can you compare Wesley Fofana to Reece James? How? There are 2 separate issues. One, Reece James, he's a creator, he's a goal scorer, and he's a defensive monster. He's a world-class player. He's huge. He's huge to Chelsea. And the other one, Wesley Fofana, who's a very good defender, don't get me wrong, but one I don't even think we probably needed when we got him in summer. Okay, now we've got him in Chelsea Football Club, fine. But his impact is not the same as Reece James's impact. How can you tell me to have the same energy for Reece James and Wesley Fofana? How? The impact for both of these players are night and day. Thiago Silva, in my opinion, has overplayed. All our CB are not yet ready to give him a rest. You're right. I would have to agree. At times we've overplayed Silva. I would have to agree with that. Not yesterday though. I feel like yesterday, he's had a bit of time off, so I'm okay with that. But before the World Cup, there was sequence of matches where he was playing a lot. He was playing a lot. Queen of South is saying, let's talk Enzo, please. We will talk Enzo very, very soon. Don't you worry about that. Just wrapping up the conversation in regards to Reece James. We're going to need two right backs because what if our backup right back gets injured? If our starting right back is injured most of the season, then the second right back is going to get overplayed. Look, I want to get a proper backup for Reece James. Someone with immense quality. It cannot be like average. It's got to be someone with very good quality. There's a lot of names that's getting floated around, but look, I'm not going to sit here at the moment because nothing is quite concrete as to who. There's been talks about Molina in recent times from Atletico Madrid, Argentinian player. There's been talks about Croatian right back Juranovic, Malo Gusto from Lyon. There's been many more. My pick is Dumfries. I think if we get someone like Dumfries, that's going to be sensational for me. But none of these are set in stones. Whoever we get, it's got to be a good quality player, man. It's got to be a good quality player. Now, in regards to what if that player gets injured, that's when you need to get people from academy to come in. We need to identify very quickly from our academy who can sort of make that advancement into the first team. Surely there has to be an academy player that's able to play right back. Surely. DK saying Frimpong. Exactly. Frimpong's another name as well. That's getting tattered around. T1, thank you so much for the super chat, my man. Switching to a 4-3-3 will help minimize missing RJ. Yeah, I would like us to continue play the 4-3-3, but the 4-3-3 works with RJ. Without RJ, can you imagine Azpilicueta, what we saw yesterday? I think, unfortunately, T1, as long as it's Azpilicueta, we may have to revert back to three at the back and have Aspi as a wing back. Because Aspi as a right back, he simply can't cut it. We may have to revert to three at the back and Aspi as a wing back, unfortunately. But we'll see. Scotty Cadet, thank you so much for the super chat. Like RJ, but I feel he's been rushing his recovery. Remember, he thought he was ready to play for England. The kid needs recovery time and return. Yeah, I mean, but Scotty, since then, there's been the World Cup, 5 weeks, and then there was another 2 weeks before Premier League started. Like, that's 7 weeks of recovery, and he got injured, I think, 3 weeks before the World Cup. So he's had a long time to recover from this. I don't think Chelsea Football Club would have risked it if they had an ounce of belief that he wasn't ready. You don't take that level of risk in the Premier League because you could potentially have a long-term injury. People are saying Dion Rankin. I mean, let's get this brother through. Seriously, let's. If I'm Graham Potter and Neil Bath and all of those guys that are involved now, I bring him into the first team and just get him accustomed. He doesn't have to start, but getting accustomed to the first team. Tim B, thank you so much for the super chat. Trent would be an okay backup, at least in attack. Trent. Yeah, Trent Alexander-Arnold as a backup. Good luck getting him from Liverpool. T1, thank you so much for the super chat again. No top RB is coming to be a backup. Look, at this point, T1, whoever comes in, are they even going to be a backup? Can we even say this as a backup? They're probably going to play a lot more games than Reece James. So for me, I wouldn't even call it a backup anymore. Let's just get another right back. That's it. Let's just get someone who can compete with Reece James. I wouldn't even say backup because that backup will potentially play more games than Reece James, to be honest. Okay, let's have a look at the latest that's gone around in regards to Enzo Fernandez, ladies and gentlemen. Let's shift our focus towards Enzo. Over 211 live right now. Smash the like button, guys. Let's get those likes up to 100 immediately. We just need another 42 likes to get to 100. So that shouldn't be a problem. If you guys are enjoying this conversation, enjoying this interaction, smash the like button, get those likes up to 100 immediately, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Now, in regards to Enzo Fernandez, ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? Is this actually happening? I just don't want to get myself hyped up, man. I really don't want to get myself hyped up. I know what happened last summer. Every player that we wanted ended up going elsewhere. Even recently, there was some talks about Benoit Badiashile. Barcelona apparently trying to convince him to stick around so that they can get him in summer. Do you know what I mean? Like, I know that deal with Badiashile is very close, imminent, and it looks like it's going to happen for Chelsea. But I don't rule anything out, man. I don't rule anything out. But especially someone like Enzo Fernandez. I mean, can we actually get excited? I feel like every big club is going to be after him. But 120 million release clause. If you trigger that, you can potentially get this player. Could Todd Bowley potentially do this? This guy would literally transform our midfield. I'm not even lying. He could play as the deepest midfielder easily, where Jorginho plays. Far more mobility, far more mobile. Excellent at reading the game. His progressive passing is fantastic. He can at times sneak in just outside the box and ping in shots. He would transform our midfield. There is no two ways about it. This guy is a huge sensation in world football right now. This is what Simon Phillips had to say, ladies and gentlemen. I can report that according to our sources, Chelsea have started the groundwork to sign Enzo Fernandez from Benfica. This means we have spoken to his agent regarding a move and registered our official interest. I mean, Simon Phillips, as I keep saying, he doesn't just roll out rubbish. Like, something's going on in regards with Enzo Fernandez. Tim B, thank you so much for the super chat. I'm excited about Enzo, but price scares me a bit. 120 million, man. 120 million release clause. We're going to get to that very, very soon. Further goes on to say, I'm not sure whether they are willing to pay his release clause, but they have definitely started some work on trying to sign Enzo, meaning this is a real potential deal to watch. That's mad. And this is what Fabrizio Romano had to say. Enzo Fernandez will only leave if a club will trigger the 120 million release clause. His agent is coming to Europe to discuss with club. The Premier League is the most likely destination. No mention of Chelsea, though, yet. This is from Fabrizio Romano. Ladies and gentlemen, you let me know. Like, should we get hyped? Should we get excited? I just don't want to build myself up and then in comes Real Madrid or PSG or Man City. Man City wanted this guy along with Julian Alvarez last season. Valan, thank you so much for the super chat. Genuinely not sure if we're going to get him. but the signs are pointing he would move in Jan. Benfica already looking at his replacements as reported. I mean, I know it's been reported, Balan. Honestly, until I see like a David Ornstein or even Fabrizio, I can't take any other reporter seriously, man. He's a huge player for Benfica. I can't even stress that enough. Do you understand how disadvantaged Benfica is going to be moving into this Champions League? And I know this is not in Benfica's hand anymore because there is that release clause. But I don't think it's going to be an easy situation. Someone like Enzo Fernandez, it's not just going to be the release clause, which is a mammoth release clause, 120 million euros. What level of salary, what level of wages would he demand? Knowing Todd Bowley and how he rolls, it's going to be 6E plus 1. And you'd have to potentially give him something around minimum 250K. 200 to 250K. And then that package becomes huge. 120 million release clause, that's to Benfica. And then I'm pretty sure there's agent fees and then the wages, obviously. 6E plus 1 is what Todd Bowley generally rolls with. And at 6 years plus 1, let's say approximately 200 to 250K a week, that's a big package. That's a huge package. I mean, it makes sense. This is probably the best time to get Enzo Fernandez, the release clause. Trigger the release clause and make it happen. This is probably the best time to do it. I just think I don't know, man. Some people are commenting in the live chat, financial fair play. How are we doing all this? How are we actually doing all this? The new owners just took over. I wonder, last season, I don't think we made any profit. We had sanctions for good 3 to 4 months. This season, I'm pretty sure the new owners will find new ways, new avenues to make more money. Stadium redevelopment is being talked around as like I don't know how. Like, do you know? Someone tweeted the other day. Do you know how much we've already spent under the new owners? We've spent more than 300 million already under the new owners. And we're looking at players like Leao, Jude Bellingham. I don't know how this is all happening, man. Valan, thank you so much for the super chat. Once again, my man, if we are registering our official interest, it 100% means we are willing to pay the release clause. Benfica won't entertain anything else. Of course, they won't entertain anything else. It has to be the release clause. Has to. But the release clause, the wage package, agent fees and whatnot, if this happens in January, I don't know how anything else happens. Any other transfers. I mean, I'd be over the moon. I would celebrate. I would sing. I would honestly have a party with each and every one of you guys in the live chat. But we also need a right back. we need a right back. Pronto. Valan, once again, thank you so much for the super chat. The club that are willing to pay the release clause are going to be mainly Prem teams competing for top 4. Real Madrid, PSG, or City probably only try and I agree. I think Todd Bowley is a little bit triggered by the fact that how quickly Liverpool moved on Gakpo. And it was such a bargain purchase as well, Gakpo, £37 million or £40 million, something like that. But the swiftness, the efficiency that they've moved in with Gakpo, I think Todd Bowley, he wants to do something for Graham Potter this January. And rightly so. We have to. We have to. We have to give Graham Potter every opportunity to get top four. But yeah, I don't know. Look, Enzo Fernandez, as I said, would transform us. From that perspective, is it worth it? Probably is worth it. But then where does it keep us? Where does it put us in our budget? Do we still have enough to get a right back? Do we still later on in the summer have enough to buy another attacker? And it's not like we can even raise funds by selling some of our players, some of our players, let's say, the ones that are up for sale, Hakim Ziyech, AC Milan have put a price tag of 15 million euros. Like these players are not even fetching enough money for us. Do you know what I mean? Shubra is saying, don't forget, Biz, 2021 summer, we had 30 million profit in net spend. Yeah, in net spend. But Shubra, a football club's expense isn't just player purchase and player sales. There's a whole heap of other stuff. Wages is the hugest expense. Net spend is, don't worry about net spend. I'm talking about the entire organization, the club's finances, the club's financial figures, profit and loss, paying all the staff, all the fixed expenses, all the wages, take away all of that from the revenue. Last season, there was at least 3 to 4 months where we didn't have any revenue. There was no revenue. So what good is that net spend? Do you know what I mean? What good is that net spend? Bertram, thank you so much for the super chat, my man. Check Duncan Castle's article. Good to see you back. Thank you, my man. I've seen that article, man. I mean, yeah. I don't really rate Duncan Castle, man. I'm waiting for David Ornstein or Fabrizio Romano. I'm waiting for one of those guys to drop something and then really get excited about this. Valan, thank you so much for the super chat once again, my man. To each and every one of you guys that have been giving super chats, massive thank you. Honestly, really appreciate that. Bowley should sign Benfica's scouting team. Do you know what? That's a good shout. That is actually a good shout. Benfica, they just keep churning in these talents. Angel Di Maria. Do you guys remember Simão, that Portuguese player? Ruben Diaz. So many more, man. It's not coming to my head at the moment, but they've had so many superstars, man, in that team. João Felix, Benfica. It's incredible. Over 250 live right now, ladies and gentlemen. Only 8 more likes remaining to get 100 likes. We're going to wrap things up. Smash the like button. I'm going to take a few more comments and we'll wrap things up. Prabuda is saying, James, various sources in Portugal confirming that Chelsea representatives are in Lisbon trying hard for Enzo Fernandez. Getting a feeling he's coming in January means we have tabled 127 million euros. Look, I hope so. If we can do this, as I said, he transforms our midfield. He absolutely transforms our midfield. Hello, Miz. How you doing? We took the test series, man. I was scared. We lost 7 wickets for 70 runs. Man, I wish Bangladesh just got that victory, but congratulations on that win, man. At least we fought hard. If we're going to lose, we lose that way. Liz, what if we get Enzo and he just can't manage the Prem? I don't know how I'll react to that. Nah, he's Argentinian, man. He's Argentinian. They've got that dog in them, man. They'll manage. Don't worry. They'll manage. I think we're thinking from the perspective of letting go of Kante and J5. Their salaries are high. Plus, might be selling players, getting more sponsors in probably a better shirt sponsor than 3. Yeah, they're going to have to find ways. And I'm pretty sure this is one area where I feel like these American owners, they're going to be able to make Chelsea very profitable. They will. They're smart businessmen. They're very, very smart businessmen. Um, and this is probably why they're going after these big dogs. Do you know what I mean? They feel like they can manage the finances and they can bring in more players, more revenue. Valan, once again, thank you so much for the super chat. Benfica scouting team has a very good knowledge in the South American market, which we apparently have issue trying to target. Good option to try. 100% agreed. 100% agreed. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to wrap things up. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. Smash the like button before you go. And also, please make sure you subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. We'll hopefully get to that 20,000 subscribers as soon as possible. And I shall see you guys again later on UK time for another video. Probably not a live unless something groundbreaking happens, and then I'll come live. Basically wrapping up the day's news. So yeah, smash the like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification. Until next time, everyone. Take care. See ya.